Hello everyone, and once again welcome to BioLine. In today's video, we will try to understand the basic difference between these two very similar terms, the chromatin and chromosomes. Okay, so let's start the video. First of all, we need to understand that the basic constituent of both the chromatin as well as the chromosome are same. That is, both of them are made up of the DNAs and the basic proteins which are present in our genetic material, that is histones. Okay, so we can say the constituent of both of them is same. Okay, so the question arises, then why there is the difference, or what is the difference? Okay, so see here, the difference in the two structure is due to the extent of the folding and the packaging of the DNA within them. Okay, for example, you can see in the case of the chromatin, DNA is still folded, okay, but it is less folded and less condensed. Okay, and when we talk about chromosome, we can say it is highly folded and it is more condensed form, or the term can be extremely condensed and extremely folded form of DNA around the basic proteins histone. Okay, so in the chromatin, the condensation is there, folding of the DNA is there, but there is lesser, we can say the folding and the packaging is to the lesser extent as compared to the chromosomes. Okay, let's just understand it further. Now, just see, when we talk about the DNA, okay, so there are three hierarchical level of the structure of the DNA within a cell. Okay, first of all, if we'll talk about the structure of the DNA, we all know that it is made up of the double-stranded DNA, sorry, double strands like this. Okay, and there is a nitrogenous basis which forms the hydrogen bondings between them. Okay, so the primary structure of the DNA is its nucleotide sequences. Okay, then the secondary structure is the double stranded helix structure. Okay, when the two strands will wind upon each other, okay, they form a double stranded helical structure. So that will be the secondary structure. And the tertiary structure, it refers to the higher order of folding that allows the DNA to be packed in a confined place of the cell. Okay, now we all know that the cell is a microscopic structure. Okay, and within that cell there is a nucleus, and that nucleus is still more microscopic. Okay, the diameter of the nucleus is still more lesser than the diameter of the entire cell. Okay, and the DNA has to pack itself in such a manner, it has to get tightly condensed so that it can be fitted into the nucleus of the cell. Okay, so for fitting, or we can say for to accommodate that accommodate within that nucleus, the DNA has to condense in a very highly straight. Okay, let us move further. Now see, whenever we all have studied, I guess, about the cell cycle. Okay, so see, whenever the cell cycle progress, the level of the DNA packaging changes. Okay, the DNA which is being packed around the histone proteins, its extent changes. Okay, how we can see that in the when the chromosome enter, what happened, enter into the cell cycle, it is in the highly packed stage, that is, we can say it is in the chromatin state. Okay, but we will see as the cell cycle progress, the condensation of the chromatin uh, increases. Okay, and the chromatin, or we can say the chromosomes change in a, or the DNA change from a highly packed state to the extreme condensation or a extremely packed state. Fine. Also, the DNA packaging changes locally whenever there are the event like replication of the DNA or transcription. So what happened in the replication and transcription, the entire nucleotide of the DNA has to be read. Okay, for replication, the entire nucleotide, the entire nitrogenous bases and everything has to be replicated. Same is for the transcription, each and every base pair has to be read. Okay, so if the DNA will remain tightly condensed or a highly, we can say in a highly packed state, okay, the two strand of the DNA will not be free for the process of replication and transcription. So at that time, whenever the replication and the transcription process has to be done, what is the necessity? The necessity is that the DNA packaging should get loosened up. Okay, DNA should get loosened up so that the two strand can unwind and these two process like replication and transcription can take place. Fine. Thus, the packaging of the eukaryotic DNA, okay, its tertiary chromosomal structure. If we'll talk about the tertiary structure, which we just now talked, okay, the tertiary structure of the DNA is not static. Okay, that means the structure of the DNA is not fixed. It keep on changing. Okay, according, or we can say according to the need of the cellular process. Okay, the extent of the packaging keeps on changes within the cell of a DNA. Okay, now let us understand it more clearly. Let us understand a little bit about the packaging of the DNA first. Now see, just now we have discussed that within a cell there is a very microscopic nucleus, and the entire length of the DNA has to get packed, or we can say it has to fit or accumulate into this nucleus. Okay, for that the tightening, or we can say the packaging level, should be very high. Okay, if we talk about the human cells, we can see that it contains more than 6 billion base pairs of the DNA, okay, in a human cell. So if we would measure the entire length of the DNA from one cell, okay, from end to end, it will be around 2 meters. Fine, it is approximately 6 feet. Even DNA in the smallest human chromosome, okay, would stretch around 14,000 times the length of the nucleus. That means it's so much larger than the length of the nucleus. Okay, that's why the packaging of the DNA has to be done. Okay, that's why the DNA get packed around some protein complexes, so that it can get, we can say, it can be accumulated, it can get condensed, okay, or it can get highly folded, and then it can accommodate or fit into the nucleus of the cell. Okay, now what are the type of proteins which are involved in this packaging of the DNA? There are the two important type of protein. The one are the histones, very important one. The main protein here are the histones, and the another one are the non-histone proteins. Okay, we have to remember basically about these histone proteins because they are very important in a eukaryotic cell. Okay, now see, when we talk about the histone proteins, for the packaging of the DNA, the 5 histone proteins are very important, or we can say they are involved. These are H1 histone, H2A histone, H2B histone, H3 and H4 histones. Fine. So these 5 type of histones, they are involved in the packaging of the DNA. Another important thing that we need to note about histones are positively charged. Okay, or we can say the histones are, generally in the books it is written that it is a base, that histones are the basic proteins. Okay, now why these term basic, or why they are very much positively charged? Because we all know that the building block of proteins are amino acids. So similarly, the building block of these histone proteins are also amino acid, and those amino acids are rich in the positively charged amino acids like lysine and arginine. Okay, the number of the lysine and the arginine amino acid is abundant in the histones protein. Okay, that's why the histone proteins has a positively, overall unke upar they have a positive charge. Okay, and you can see they are forming an interaction with the DNA, because if you remember, we all know that the overall charge of the DNA is negative. Okay, so you can see the interaction will take place between this positive and the negative charge of the DNA. Okay, the positive charge of the histone and the negative charge of the histone, the unlike charges will attract each other, and then we can see a tight bonding can be created. Okay, we'll see further this. Now see, once these are the, you can see diagrammatically, these are these are histones, H2A, H2B, H3 and H4 histone. Okay, these 4 histones are known as core histones. Okay, remember that these 4 histones, H2A, H2B, H3 and H4s, are known as core histones. Okay, now see, this is the another histone, that is H1, and this histone is known as linker histone. Okay, H1 is known as linker histone. It is not directly involved in the packaging, it is just acting like a clamp. Okay, now see here, whenever these histones, okay, they just form a octamer. These 4 type of histones, they form a octamer structure. octamer structure. Octamer means 8 units of these histones will form a complex. Why 8? You can see here 4 histones. Okay, each histones will be present in twice. Okay, like this is H2A. इसके पीछे ही just behind that there is another H2A. H2B, just behind that there is another H2B. Okay, H4, just behind that there is one H4, and just behind this H3 there is another H4. Okay, so what happened during the packaging of the DNA? These 4 histone will form a octamer structure, and over this octamer structure you can see this yellow color DNA wraps around itself. Okay, that is what is mentioned here. Fine. Okay, it just wrapped around itself. Okay, almost 2 times this wrapping goes, okay, of the DNA around these histone octamer. Fine. And this H1 histone, what does this do? It actually joins the DNA where it enters the octamer and leave this octamer. Okay, at that point this H1 histone is just acting like a clamp. Okay, and this whole complex is known as nucleosome. Fine. So this whole complex is known as a nucleosome complex. So there are multiple nucleosome complex in a whole DNA, and this nucleosome complex help in the packaging or in the folding of the DNA. Okay, so that's why it is mentioned here that the nucleosome are the core particles. Okay, we can say there is a basic unit of the packaging of the DNA, or core particles, which consist of DNA wrapped about 2 times around the 8 histone proteins, which is the histone octamer, which just now we saw. Okay, and what is the function of H1 linker histone? Its function is to link. Okay, it just act like a clamp here, so that this winding around the histone should not get loosened up. That's why this H1 histone will act like a clamp here. Okay, now in the the whole DNA, you can see this is one nucleosome, this is another nucleosome, this is another nucleosome, this is another nucleosome, so on. Okay, this kind of structure will be found. Okay, now see the core histone protein associated with this core particle, the nucleosome associated with the H1 histone, they will form some beaded like structure, and these structure is known as chromatosomes. Okay, इन्हीं structures को chromatosom कहा जाता है. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now we will see a little bit more about the packaging of the DNA with the help of this diagram. Okay, you can see this is the entire length of the DNA, and right now at this stage it is the simplest level. Okay, the DNA is totally loosened up. Now you can see the coiling will take place. Okay, like this you can see the packaging is going on, and how this packaging is occurring? Because of these nucleosome. You can see these purple colors are the histone, and this gray color is the DNA that is wrapped around these histone. Okay, and this orange one is the linker histone. Fine. So you can see these are the linker histones. This is the one nucleosome. This is another nucleosome. This is another. This is another. They collectively they are known as, they are forming a beaded like fashion, and they are known as chromatosomes. Okay. Ultimately, you can see what is happening here. Then at that time these now further once the nucleosomes are formed, once the chromatosomes are formed, it gets further condensed. You can see the space between the two nucleosomes will get decreased, it will get further decreased, and in this case you can see it is getting further decreased. Okay, and you can see from this condition now the packaging has gone to this condition. Okay, later on it further condensed whenever it required. Okay, it get more or extremely condensed. Okay, and then it change into this chromosome structure. Fine. Okay, so what exactly is present inside this chromosome? The same thing, the DNA and the histone protein, but they are in the very highly coiled state. Okay, packaging इसमें बहुत ही ज़्यादा है. Fine everyone, and also you can see as the condensation of the histone or of the DNA take place, the diameter or the thickness of the DNA or the thickness of that condensed state keep on increasing. You can see when the DNA was just very much loosened up, at that time it was having the diameter of 2 nanometer. Further you can see it got to the 11 nanometer. Further when it got condensed, it got to the 30 nanometer. Okay, then 300 nanometer. Then you can see 700 nanometer, and at the end you can see it is forming the chromosome. So this is how the DNA packaging take place. Okay, this is how the DNA get wrapped around the histone protein, get highly condensed, and then it is able to fit into the cell. Okay, now we will move up onto the chromatin. I think now it will become more clear for us to understand what chromatin is. Okay, now just now we saw that chromatin also consists of the DNA and the histones. Okay, and that is why a term we can say that it is just a network of nucleoproteins. Why nucleo? The nucleo means it is coming for the nucleic acid, that is the DNA, and protein means the basic proteins, histones. That's why we can say the chromatin is a highly coiled network of nucleoproteins, and it is present in the nucleus. Okay, so it is a highly coiled network of these nucleoproteins. Okay, and it is present in the nucleus. Now just very important point, see here, this new chromatin is generally found in the cell during the G0 phase and the interphase of the non-dividing cell. Very important in a non-dividing cell. Okay, we can see the diagram here. This is a non-dividing the cell. Okay, the cell which is right now it is in the G0 phase, we can say, that is the quiescent phase when the cell is not dividing, or the interphase. If you remember the cell cycle, okay, inside the cell cycle you can see there are some phases. The first phase is G1 phase, then we have S phase, then we have G2 phase, and then we have M phase. Okay, this entire phase is known as the interphase. Okay, and this phase is M phase, is the mitotic phase, the phase in which the actual chromosome segregate. Fine. So whenever a cell is present either outside of the cell cycle, that is in the quiescent phase and G0 phase, or in a interphase, at that time we can say the nucleic acid is present in the form of chromatin. Okay, chromatin, where the DNA has been folded, but right now it is highly coiled structure. Okay, right now the cell is not dividing. Okay, or we can say it is just preparing for the division. So during that time what happened, the DNA remain in this form, that is in the chromatin form. Okay, now what happened? Now see, when we talk about the chromatin inside a cell, we get two types of chromatin. One is the euchromatin, the another one is a heterochromatin. Okay, now euchromatin is that part of the chromatin which actually undergoes a normal process of condensation and decondensation in the cell cycle according to its need. Okay, for example, if I'll say this is the entire length of the chromatin. So this particular part, if I'm saying this is the euchromatin, so this one can easily undergo condensation whenever from high to extreme packaging is required, or it can also get loosen up, that is decondensation, whenever the process of replication or transcription is required. Okay, so that the gene can become active and the gene can become inactive whenever required. Okay, the another type of euchromatin is which is present inside the cell is heterochromatin. Okay, if I'm saying this is the heterochromatin part, okay, so this is that type of chromatin which remain highly condensed through the entire state of the cell cycle. Okay, and even during the interphase, this part of the heterochromatin is that region of the chromatin which will not undergo any kind of condensation or any kind of decondensation. Okay, so whatever gene are present over that in that area of the DNA, they always remain inactive. They will always remain inactive. Okay, so during the replication and transcription, this part will not get highly loosen up. ये नहीं होगा. Fine. Now see, euchromatin considered the majority of the chromosomal material, okay, and where the most transcription take place at that point, the euchromatin DNA, the euchromatin is present, and on all the chromosome, the heterochromatin we can see at the centromeres and the telomeres. Okay, if this is a chromosome, okay, so the centromere part which is highly constricted, and the telomeres, that is the end of the chromosome, the telomere part and the centromere part. Okay, at these part we can find heterochromatin which always remain in a highly condensed state. Okay, and it doesn't undergo the condensation. Okay, that means getting extremely condensed, or decondensation means which is the process of getting loosen up, so it doesn't undergo these kind of processes. Okay, after that we can see the structure of chromosome here. Okay, so just now we saw whenever the cell is in an interphase phase, at that time the DNA is in the form of chromatin. Okay, so what happened whenever after the G2 phase, what happened now, the chromosome has to get segregate. Okay, the DNA replication has also taken place in the S phase of the cell cycle. Now the chromosome has to segregate. Okay, so for that, what happened, this chromatin actually undergo the condensation, or from condensation state. Okay, and from a highly condensed state of the DNA, it enter into the extremely condensed state that we saw in the diagram. Okay, and that result into the formation of chromosomes. Fine. So that's why it is written that it is present during the mitotic phase of a dividing cell. Whenever a cell divides, at that time, at the M phase, the chromatin is not present. Okay, the chromatin has undergone an extreme condensation, and now it is present in the form of chromosomes. Okay, so that's why it is mentioned that the chromosome, the DNA is extremely condensed. Okay, instead, in this, what is happening, the chromatin DNA, which was actually present in the chromatin, the same DNA is present, but now it is in the extremely condensed state. Okay, and as a result, you can see the rod shaped structure is being taken up by the DNA. Okay, which is known as the chromosomes. So the last thing that we need to understand is actually the constituent of both the DNA, or sorry, both the chromatin and the chromosome is same, the DNA and histones. But what is the difference? That in the loosen up cells, or we can say in a non-dividing cell, we can find the chromatin, and whenever the cell is dividing, during that time, during the M phase, what happened, there will be the condensation of the chromatin, and from a highly condensed state of the DNA will enter into the extremely condensed state. Okay, and as a result, what happened, the chromosomes are formed. Okay, so that's it for today. Okay, so if you like the video, please hit the like button and do share with all of your friends. Fine. Okay, we will meet to the next in the next video. Till then, have a good day, everyone.